Hi everyone, my name is Patrick ley-greaves. Welcome back to another little painting talk today. I guess it's not really a demonstration, but anyway, I've been looking into the price of paints, and I think they're ridiculous. I think, well, they might be justified, but I still think they're pretty expensive. A lot of people on my courses on Udemy always complain about the price of the colours that I'm using, cobalt blue being one of them, very expensive colour to buy. And so I thought, well, I need to do some more exploring into Cotman, especially for beginners and intermediate painters and people that just get involved in watercolour. I thought, well, you know, do we really need to be spending on these lovely brands that everybody keeps talking about on YouTube, but the cost of them is really prohibitive, and it doesn't give everybody the same opportunity, because many people can't afford to pay £20-30 for a tube of paint. They just can't afford it. So I looked into the Cotman. I did use them years ago for lessons I used to give, and I was always very happy, and my students were always very happy with the quality. But I thought that was going back 15 years or so. So I thought today would be worth going through it on here and checking it out, really, see what happens. Anyway, I've got the Cotman colours, and I'm sticking to my split primary palette. I'll just run through which ones I've got. Let's get the yellows together, blues and reds. So I'm using lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, gamboge, which is a new one for me, but I thought I'd pick it up anyway and add that to my palette. It's a slightly warmer one. Cerulean blue, cobalt blue and Prussian blue. We've got the alizarin crimson, cadmium red pale and permanent rose. Okay, so I thought, first of all I'd do today, before I launch into paintings, is just go for a colour chart to see what they could do. I wanted to see what they would look like once I'd put them on paper. Now, instead of you watching me paint every square, I thought I'd do it first and then mark it up and then talk about it. Basically, I've put the raw colour straight out the tube down here in this quarter of the page. We've got cerulean blue, which was fine. You know, there isn't as much pigment in the paint as in artist quality. But potentially you can waste a lot of paint that way as well. You know, if you wash your brush, you've got paint. You know, you've got a small 14mm tube that's cost you, gosh, I don't know, £15 plus. It's not easy to lose a lot of that paint and wash it away. This is a 21mm tube of the cobalt blue, the 21mm tube of the cobalt blue, which cost me £5.50, but I've actually seen it on the internet today for around £4.75. So it's a pretty cheap colour for 21mm of paints. It's pretty good. And the quality of the paint there is fantastic on the page. Very happy with it. I can't, fault it. I really can't. It looks great to me. And the intenseness of the cerulean blue looks lovely. It's bright. It seems to granulate slightly in the same way. The Prussian blue looks lovely. Then we've got the permanent rose here. Alizarin crimson and cadmium red. We've got cadmium yellow. We've got the gamboge, which is slightly warmer than the quite a bit warmer than the cadmium yellow. And then we've got our coolish yellow, which is the lemon yellow there. Then I just mixed some colours together here. I just tried adding some. I used cobalt blue in all three examples just to keep it simple on this page, because it starts getting confusing if we have lots of different colours being mixed together. People don't understand what we're doing. It looks nice, but it's not very effective in actually teaching somebody. But I use a lot of cobalt blue and cadmium yellow and stuff like that for trees and leaves and stuff like that. So anyway, here we go. So we've got cadmium yellow here with some lemon yellow, and it makes a lovely green. No problems with that at all. It granulates nicely. I like the effects. It blended nicely together. No problem at all. Then we've got a nice warm green here, cobalt and gamboge. Made a lovely colour. I can see me painting quite happily with that. And cobalt blue and cadmium yellow. Again, that's a typical mix for me, and it's fine. There's nothing there that looks particularly poor, and like I say, you're paying for a fraction of the price for these colours. So if you're a beginner and an intermediate painter, I don't really see why you would want to paint God knows how much for all the really expensive paints. I can't think what they're called now, but there's lots of brands out there that are very expensive, and I think it's a bit, you know, you've got to be careful you're not buying it for perhaps the wrong reason, I don't know. And anyway, here we go. I mixed up a brown which kind of gave us quite like a raw sienna-y colour here, and that was cerulean blue, cadmium red and cadmium yellow. So just 3 colours there mixed, give me a nice brown. And then I mixed these neutrals very easily with a bit of cerulean blue and cadmium red, and I just added progressively more red. Here we go. So we've got a nice range of neutral colours there. And some oranges up here. I just added some cadmium yellow with some permanent rose, and again all 3 colours are lovely. This one's cadmium yellow and gamboge, you know, a slightly duller orange, more verging towards the brown, but it's still very warm and intense and rich. It's lovely. And then lemon yellow and cadmium red, a nice yellow there for your sunsets and kind of, you know, those nice glows to get that nice glow in the sky, that type of thing. And then finally, okay, at the top here, we've got our Prussian Blue, which I mixed. Didn't do an awful lot of mixing with the Prussian Blue, but I have no doubt it would be fine. And I added the Prussian Blue with some permanent rose, and I added progressively more permanent rose going down this way. And I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. So I'm pretty excited over the next couple of days to get mixing these paints and seeing what we can produce with them. And hopefully, because when I see beginners paintings, I look at them and I think, gosh, you need to use more colour, you need to be bolder. And I think sometimes I wonder if they're starting out, that the price of the paint is really expensive. They think it's, you know, you get a titchy little tube for, God, I don't know, 15, 20 quid. You know, let's see with these Cotman colours what sort of quality painting we can produce. All my previous paintings on YouTube before this one, all done with artist quality paints, and what we can look out for now to see if there's going to be a big dive in quality using these Cotman paints. The other thing I want to point out with my channel is that I'm going to be simplifying it a little bit, because I've had a few nudges from people to say a lot of the paintings I'm doing, they like watching it, but it's not really teaching them much because it's a little bit above what they actually can do themselves. So they want to have some more landscapes, seascapes, things like that, things, everyday type painting stuff that they feel comfortable with, and get some great effects. So that's it for now, really. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just a short video, really, to talk about the colours. The next thing I want to look at is the brushes. I'll be looking at that shortly. I've got some on order. But expect the next series of videos to be all using Cotman colours, and we'll see if they can produce as good a watercolour as the artist quality. So thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to click on the links under the video. There's all sorts of things there you can go and visit, and I appreciate your time watching the video. I'll chat to you all soon. Bye for now.